This is Dr. Mercola with another video update. I just think it's absolutely shocking every time I reflect on the fact that 90%, yes, 90% of the money that Americans spend on food is for processed food. It just boggles my mind. But that's the truth. And if you've ever been to a grocery store and done shopping, you'll know that that's true. And it's really kind of no mystery why 2/3 of Americans are grossly overweight. And in fact, we have 5 billion pounds in the U.S. alone of extra fat that we shouldn't be having. So that really, clearly the goal for us is to have as much whole, fresh, unprocessed food, ideally organically grown, and even better yet, locally grown, that you would consume. And there's some other important principles that I think you really need to understand. One of them is to make sure that you plan your meals. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So ideally, before you go to bed every night, you should have some understanding, some idea of what meals you're going to be having the next day when you wake up. This is particularly important if you find yourself rushed in the morning, you're out to work, because there's not a lot of time. You have to, and if you don't have a lot of time, you're not going to be able to prepare something for yourself. So ideally, you know what that is. And then, because when you're at work and it's 12 o'clock noon, it's not going to be a mystery that you're going to be hungry and you're going to want lunch. And most of us, when we're at work, have really poor to terrible selections for food choices. It's typically highly processed convenience foods, which taste good and are relatively inexpensive, but they're really bad for you. It's a bad investment in your health future. So the next part of that is that you have to understand that you're really going to need to invest some time in the kitchen. It's either you or someone you know or love that has to prepare your food for you. Ideally, you do not want to rely on processed food. You want to have it freshly prepared, ideally daily, in your kitchen, so that you can consume it, and that's going to give you the best possibility for improving your health nutritionally. So those are the ideals. Those are what we strive for as much as possible. As closer we get to the healthier we're going to be nutritionally. But frequently, of course, we all know that that's just not 100% possible all the time, because we go on vacations. We're in different scenarios where it's just not possible, and that really the only options are really poor. In those cases, you may even want to consider fasting. Sometimes not eating anything is better than eating the junk food that's available to you. But there are some other options, and I think I reviewed earlier this year something called energy bars. And most of the energy bars that you can quickly and conveniently carry are really pretty much garbage. They have really bad choices of protein. They've got full of high fructose corn syrup and genetically modified foods and agents and preservatives and additives that are just not good for you. So I realized, my team and I did a few years ago, this was a challenge and a problem. So that's why we put together a bar. It took us 2 full years to figure this thing out. We literally went through dozens of different variations to find out one that really tasted good and was good for you. So the bar that we have is coca cassava, and it's something that you could use as a convenience in those situations where you just don't have access to the ideal foods. It's clearly not the ideal. It is a processed food, but it's a high quality processed food that will actually keep you healthy. So it has very healthy ingredients. It's got the best possible protein you could possibly have in any type of energy bar. And it's a very high quality whey, the highest quality whey that I know exists in the country. So it's clearly something that, and it tastes really great. I mean, we've just got phenomenal feedback on how good it tastes. It's just never been an issue for anyone. They really love the flavor of it. So that is something to consider. So hopefully when you have this information and you apply it and you're able to make healthier choices for your food, then you will give your body the building blocks it needs so that you can start to moving away from disease and moving towards health, because it's all about making choices. If you have healthy choices, then you'll understand and not have to rely on drugs and surgery for your health challenges. So these are some tools that you can use to start to take control of your health.